Yeah. Have you ever loved somebody just the very sight of them excited you, and that excitement was permanent, but they went out and did something in their life that could tear your flesh down? The Lord had, many years ago, the Lord chose a husband for me. Man was kind of on the frail side, very rich. The man was a billionaire, Caucasian, and God said for us to get together. I could look at him and tell something was wrong with him. The Lord spoke and said, "Well, if you catch anything, I will heal it." So I asked him. See, the thing is, when they handsome and rich like that, and they could get any pretty woman in the world, they will not choose you if they was healthy. But if they catch something that's incurable, all of a sudden the pretty women go and you look attractive. So the Lord said, "Take this man. If you catch anything from him, I will heal it." So I asked the Lord, "Why don't you heal him before I take him?" I never got an answer, because if you heal him before I take him, he would not want me. So I fought against God. And, you know, if that's all you got for me, you can't splurge with nobody with no incurable disease. So recently, called no name, bear no blame. A mosquito could bite you, or nobody's really protected in this world. You know, you could eat something, some listeria vegetables or something. But the thing is, if you knew up front you finna take on something that you don't have, that could cost you your life, but you love that person, would you marry that person? Would you take that person? Uh, no, because you might be rich and everything, and I might be a pauper, I may be poor, living from paycheck to paycheck, but I don't have the complications that you have. But that don't mean I don't love you. I really do. But I choose, well, I've seen the Lord turn his back on me for not taking his choices. Once he was bountiful in my life, then suddenly, when I fought against him for the first guy he chose, he started speaking to me. How you gonna gamble my eternal spirit well-being all over a man who labored for another woman? You just can't go into nobody's relationship and break them up like that. You're making me look bad, and then you're gonna offer me something worse. I'm not desperate for money like that. You know, if the God working down at the meat market was a healthy guy and I'm healthy, and you like me, I like you, let's get together. I don't need your money. I don't need your extra rich blessings. No mess like that. And this battle that you brought in my life, I don't want you raising no man to put money in his pockets for me. I want all of it. Or I want you to help where you belong. You see, you're the same God of Sodom and Gomorrah. When they was out there having a menage a trois and sexual immorality, you burned them up. At least all of them had each other. But you wrote with your hands, pretty much. You threw a whole nation at me and under my skirt. And they want to break me off a piece of my hide where they live with the abundance of the money. I don't agree with that. This is a foul thing God has done in my life. And for God to do something like that to the wicked vessel, you need to be in hell forever. You have outsinned everybody you have ever put in hell. Put it that way. So basically, he brings so much in your life, puts so much on your mind, so much weight, so much foolery that look wise to him. You know, you can't you can't just get through his head that ask me what you're gonna do first before you bring all this stuff in my life. Just because you're with me don't mean that it's a wanted experience. All this filth that you done brought in my life, this hellified, hell modified stuff you done brought in my life, is an unwanted experience, but it's sweet, and if you don't like it, and, you know, and curse the situation, that breaks your relationship with him. It's just foolishness without measure, appearing to be wisdom in his eyes, you know. So, yeah, this is something far worse than a rock and a hard place. Yeah. So anyway, this particular guy, I really enjoyed him. I really loved him, but he had he's very attractive, very very rich, but he had some kind of creature voice too, you know. And sometimes I was thinking about him. I don't know if it was a creature playing a role and he was playing another. I don't know what happened. A creature voice would speak and say, "I see you still looking for me." I don't know. He had an outbreak of spirits in his life as well as incurable health. But what I'm trying to say, I feel you just like you feel me. Those moments. I love you more than anything beneath Christ Jesus. But the love have to stop. Like one man said, love fades away. You can love somebody, you can be attracted to somebody, but love fades away. You just stay with God and we're gonna get to heaven together kind of thing. You know? So I get turned on too. I get hurt too. I fall in love with this person and they get excited and after a while they fade away. It fades away because you have to be careful. I have to be careful with my body, my character, the words of my mouth. Look, it fade away if you post a video that's unattractive. That could turn somebody head around. Let alone go out there and be careless with your bodily fluids. That's what makes you unattractive. And I will never come back to you for that. I will never forgive you for that because that's gonna take your life. It's gonna take mine too. So it's better to abide alone in your room with what portion of salvation you have, what portion of tranquility you have, what portion of money you have to pay your own bills, than it is to take on that. Yeah, basically, I guess you could say it this way. No, I don't care who you are, how much money you have. If you coughing up blood, don't come this way. I don't want you. And I guess you can say for me, a man can say for me, well, you're fat, you're this, you're that. I want you. That's just the way it is. Love fades away. But stay with God and we're going to make it to heaven together. That's what I would do. I agree. I agree with that. Stay friends far away and stand the faith, the friendly faith of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I see you in the sweet old by and by. But we ain't going to get together down here. So that's why I understand how sweetly said. I'm saying it again. How you put it? Love fades away. But we going to make it to heaven together. I see you in that sweet old by and by. But we ain't going to be together down here. You right? Right.